Hey folks, um, you have a paper coming up. Let's talk about source material for that. Some of you may be aware that SAAS does have a library. In fact, alas, it is not a physical library as it once had been on the second floor of Vanderbilt. The books are kind of spread all over the place, including my room. Confession. But let's talk about the virtual library, because there are some great databases that you could be using rather than, kind of a general Google search. And not to disparage the general Google search, you can find some great stuff, especially as you apply the crap test that we discussed earlier during the ethics unit. All right, let's go to SAAS library and let's just Google /library. I'll put the link actually on Schoology so you have it, but just so you're aware, even if you just put in SAAS library, there it is. What do you do at this point? Click there. What do you do at this point? I would suggest going here to the databases. This is what we're going to look at, resources databases. And this is the link that I'll actually provide you so you don't have to navigate those clicks. But you may like to explore the library and look at other things aside from periodicals. But let me take you through this part. You'll see all sorts of periodicals here. And a few of these, I think, can be really helpful for your paper. Let's start with Encyclopedia Britannica. This is not the same encyclopedia. Well, it kind of is the same Encyclopedia Britannica that you Google and search and perhaps get some information. But this is a subscription, so it comes with extra bells and whistles and more content. So, why go on Google when you can navigate through the SAAS website and just get more stuff? All right, so let's start with Encyclopedia Britannica. This upper left thing here is our login information. So if you click on that, you will get a spreadsheet. Oh, it's so tiny. I don't know why. It's been sort of defaulting to this super tiny. Got to figure out how to fix that. Okay, here we are. And let's find Encyclopedia Britannica. There it is. The login is Marion Cardinal, and then this SAAS rocks. I'm going to copy this because I will not remember that. I can manage to remember Marion Cardinal. So let's click on this, Marion Cardinal. All right, that's our password. Okay, so you see already you are looking for learning level or what amount of content you want. I'd suggest high school or high. And here we have some stuff. It's been a while since I've been here. So let's go to exploring articles. And you can go to history. All right. So we're getting all sorts of stuff here. We sort of narrowed it down, but here we can use this search bar, right? So we can put in something as Khmer Empire, which some of you are perhaps doing. And let's see what pops up. We've got an important individual, a couple individuals. This is Angkor Wat. Perhaps you're familiar with it. Perhaps you've even been there. I, alas, have not been there. But a really awesome UNESCO site. So you get some information here, right? So if I were to click on one of these articles, the King of the Khmer Empire, you'll see some different features, okay? Here's my article. I can favorite it, so I can add it to a collection. If you want to cite it, I can go to Chicago Style. Here it goes. You will see that this actually gives you the footnote version. Interestingly enough, usually they give you the bib versions. So you're going to have to, if you're putting this into a bibliography, convert those commas into periods, right? And then that would be a large A accessed. So really helpful. It obviously knows when you accessed it. It's really kind of cool. You can listen to it if you rather. You can make it a little bigger. Maybe more of a feature for we old folks. But we're on reading level 3. We can also, this one doesn't appear to be able to change it, but some other articles you can kind of change what you're looking at. So if we're looking at the Aztec Empire, get some stuff here. Which one should we look at? Let's start with a more general search. And again, we've already selected reading level 3. They might have made a change to this. You used to be able to change the reading level on this page as well. And not that you couldn't manage a more difficult reading level, but sometimes if you choose a more elementary reading level, it summarizes this a little bit more and gets to the point. And, it certainly leaves out detail then in that case. But if what you're looking for are essential ideas, it can be helpful to, bring it down a bit. All right, so features. You may even choose to print it. I don't know. Personally, I do not have a printer. That's not an option. Okay, so bells and whistles. Strengths. Gives you good information. This is sort of a general place for good general information. It's kind of like World History Encyclopedia that we've used before. You're probably going to find some crossover of information. Probably some new stuff as well. It cites it for you. It reads it for you. There's some cool stuff. You can share it with someone. All right, let's move on to another one. All right. Let's go to World History in Context. Here is another one. And this is a Gale, what's called a Gale database. That's not completely evident, I don't think, but let's copy that again. You do not need a login. Helpful note there. Okay, so here we are. Great stuff, great tools. Let's put in something. Here we go. Some stuff with respect to the Inca Empire. And so I can click on something here. Again, you get an audio.
Inca
Probably
Empire.
shouldn't have clicked on that.
Inca Empire. The origins of the Inca civilization lie in
I don't think I'm able
the
to hear any of this because my audio is plugged through my speaker. But you do get audio. Again, you can print these, download, print, go to Google, save it all sorts of places. Your font size you can play with. Again, it reads it for you. Here, let me see here. This is the citation. Again, you can go to Chicago style, and this is giving you the bib form. So again, if you're putting this in a footnote, you change those periods to commas, right? You put the first name first. And there that is. All right. So again, some helpful tools this has here. And all these sort of databases are cool because, if you are doing a project, you can, create and put these in special folders for you to sort of house those there. So this is Gale History in Context. Again, there are a lot of similarities to, can I go back? There are some similarities to Ancient History Encyclopedia and Britannica, and yet there are also some other kind of cool things. It shows you some primary sources if you want to investigate those, some different audios, some places in which this is been in magazines. So rather than this being one source, it sort of collects all sorts of different sources and puts it in here. And you can kind of just, based on the topic, access all sorts of different sources and things here. Like, for instance, here's an article from the Washington Post. So it collects a lot of stuff. So I think it's a helpful source. And again, it's doing a lot of work for you. It's citing it for you, at least giving you one of the versions that you need. Okay, let's keep moving. There are more sources. Yippee. Oops. We don't need to go back there. Another source you may be interested in. Let's see, where is it? Ebooks, where are they? Here it is. eLibrary. Is that the same thing? Perhaps it is. Let's get the login and confirm that. Oops. Let's go here. Since it's already bigger. Okay. Ebook Central. That's what I'm looking for. Control C. Marion Cardinal again. Is there an ebook? Oh, here. That's what I was looking for. There we go. Marion Cardinal. Sign in. All right, let's start looking for stuff. Where shall we go this time? Maybe Charlemagne, the Carolingian Empire. Actually, no. Let's go to Mali. Empire. All right, it's going to give you all sorts of books or chapters. All right, you might look at the chapter results rather than the book results, because sometimes this gives you a more refined and narrow place to look. States of America. See if any of these look good. Pre-colonial Black Africa. It gives you the dates too, which could be an indication of, what will have the most up-to-date stuff. This looks like it's more of a general history. Religion and state. That's interesting. Get some ideology or something like that. And you can kind of take a look at the contents here. You can download chapters that you might be interested in, or just read it online. You can cite the book again, right? All these databases are really helping you out. This says notes. Okay, this is bibliography. What's this one? There are different Chicago styles. Go with either of these. I don't completely understand the nuance of Chicago styles, but sometimes they give you a couple different forms, and I'd have to really investigate that to see even what's different, but they look pretty similar. All right, so it gives you the citations. I don't believe this one will actually read it to you. But this is the stuff where you get such great stuff here. So many cool. Even if we just put in Ancient Empire, I wonder what would even come up. Enduring Empire, Ancient Lessons for Global Politics. That's interesting. So the Byzantine Empire, some of you may be doing that. This was the eastern part of the Roman Empire. When the West fell, Rome fell, the East lasted for a while. So some of you might be looking at the Byzantines. I wonder what you get for Shi Huangdi, who we have investigated. All right. I'm not going to belabor this or anything, but I sort of made the point. This is a really awesome thing. Again, you can add it to your bookshelf. You can do all sorts of things here. House your research, find cool stuff. When you do go into a book, you can look at the table of contents here and kind of go where exactly you need. It's kind of helpful. I like to look at intros and conclusions. All right, so there's that. One more. All right, and here we have, these are kind of what's called monographs, like short books. some longer books. Oftentimes these professors put their dissertations, they end up getting published. This is kind of a place for that, as well as other books. These are also written by doctors, PhDs, professionals in the field. And this is JSTOR. JSTOR is a little tricky. You use this to log in, and then you got to click the upper left link and then put in your own information, which I've already done. So you'll get this screen once you get the institution piece, and then you can put in your information. .org. I'm not sure I did that right. All right. Oops. Oh, come on, Adam. What did you do that for? Sorry. That's how you get kicked off of my Zoom sometimes. I just clicked the wrong thing. All right, keep me logged in, please, and log in. McDonald at Seattle. I did something wrong here. Academy.org. So again, really good stuff. Let's look at Han Empire. Oh, this is interesting. Somehow I'm getting something right off the bat about Rome. Indeed, interesting note, there were actually trade connections between ancient Rome and ancient China. Wouldn't have predicted that's the first thing to come up. Creators of an empire. So here we get maybe some leadership or some bureaucracy administration potentially. And these are kind of nice because you can click on these. And let me see, this one will not have one. Let's go to a different one. But most of these will have an abstract in which you can read. Oh, this doesn't have an abstract either. Come on now. What's wrong with you people? These should have abstracts. So you get a quick sense of what the book is about, or the article is about, before you actually read it. And I'm a little disappointed that I'm not seeing any of that right there. Pachacuti, important Incan. I don't know. Let's just click on this just to get a sense here. Okay. See, these should come with abstracts. So rather than reading the whole article, you can get a quick sense of what this is about. Read that and make sure if this is something that you can use. All right. And I'm seeing a good bit of Spanish here as well. And many of you can read Spanish. So I encourage you to leverage that skill into your papers. Please translate for me though. All right. And that goes along with other language you might speak. Chinese, French, Japanese, whatever that is. Use it. All right. These are the databases I wanted to show you. I would say I kind of went in the order of more simple to more complex. Britannica being sort of entry level. It's a lot like World History Encyclopedia. This Gale, World History in Context, also gives you general informations like the previous two I mentioned, but then also collects informations from newspapers, magazines, primary sources as well. So you get like images and archaeology. So it's really helpful in that respect. Getting a little more complicated, we go into Ebook Central and JSTOR. This is more monographs. In other words, books, and these are articles. And both represent the sort of source material that professionals in the field not only write, but also use in their research. So clearly these are the more challenging ones, all right? Not a requirement for you to use, though I would like for you to use something from here. All right, team. I've gone longer than I wanted to once again, and I hope this was helpful. All right.